Riyadh rivalry renewed at the start of a new Saudi Arabian season, and today relocated 600 miles or so southwest to the city of Abha, venue for this Super Cup final between last season's top two. Al Nassr again facing up to the dominant domestic force of Al Hilal, with silverware at stake in the Super Cup. Al Hilal won as recently as April. This time around it's back as the curtain raiser. Al Hilal, who get the action underway, all in the whites, from left to right. Won't be too many surprises, Sam Park, in between these two sides, given the frequency and intensity of recent meetings, but no doubting the importance. First opportunity for Michael to flash it in, and it had to be dealt with and touched behind.
It's a quite brilliant ball. It's the perfect area to hit. Milinkovic-Savic does make the distance up.
That actually came all the way through to the keeper, and it
just glanced that on. He had a little look over his shoulder. Milinkovic-Savic trying to just flick it across the 6-yard box, I'm sure. Nearly ended in an own goal.
To try and win it back here and return it towards Yaya. Bonu got a glove on it. Appeals are ongoing as the keeper comes clear and tries actually to spot the counter-attack. You could see what he was trying. Cristiano Ronaldo's complaints continue though.
They're not interested, the officials. Otavio did really well there to keep that alive. Yeah, he's never going to get to the ball even with his spring.
Neves taking the pass from Koulibaly, helping it wider. This is a strong run. Just maybe tried to take on one too many, Salem El Dorsari, because he had other options in the middle.
Yeah, the change of pace was electric. Once he received it off Neves, clever play, Malcolm. Well, I think actually Al-Ghanan does brilliantly not to make a challenge there, just to put the brakes on and make sure that he wasn't going to be giving away a penalty.
Got a breather on the bench. Abdul Hamid is the regular really in that right-back role. But he started the semi-final as a substitute. For Al-Yami today as that one flashes in off the post and is scrambled away. It's not going to count, or it wouldn't have counted. But hearts were in mouths for a moment with Mitrovic in there.
Yeah, he went really early here, keeping an eye on him. Just probably capitulates the start he's had to this game. A little bit frustrated, desperate to get in there. Miles too early. It's a wonderful fingertip save though. Quite brilliant from Bento.
Okay, Garib able to bring it down, bring it under his spell. And he's still going here, Garib. Did really well in towards Ronaldo to get the touch. And late in the first half, Al Nassr in front in the Super Cup.
He's afforded a nice little bit of space, that said.
To Malcolm. And floats it in towards Mitrovic, making a nuisance of himself in between the two defenders. Just did enough to deny him.
Without Malcolm in support, maybe that's key, just getting Malcolm a little bit more the ball.
Savic gets it back from Mitrovic and waltzes his way through to score the equalising goal. Al Hilal back on terms at 1-1.
And after the initial few touches, your willingness to end up in the back of the net, that is brilliant. Driving through a couple of challenges, the little roll with the studs as well. Enjoyed that, just to open up the shooting opportunity, and that's the only place it can go, probably, high into the net. Lifts it on his weaker side. Beyond Bento into the roof of the net. It's a quite brilliantly fashioned equalising goal.
Defence coming under more sustained pressure now, though. Neves with the cross, Mitrovic rising and getting the touch to it to turn this around.
Good deliveries in this second half, and this is just exquisite from Neves, because it takes the goalkeeper out of the game. He just comes wandering, comes looking for it almost, the goalkeeper. And as a centre forward, when that is in flight, your eyes are lighting up. The trajectory of it means it's such a simple finish for Mitrovic, who's getting the run on his opposite number. Goalkeeper in no man's land, you've got to say, really. Had he stayed, maybe he could have changed his position and come out and claimed that. In the end, Mitrovic gets a a really simple goal. Brilliant ball in it was.
It's well worked. That was cut back by Malcolm for Mitrovic, and that might just do it. He's got himself another one.
Tellez, for example, just getting back into the picture now. I think too many players tiptoeing forward, don't regain their shape. They're detached. You can see the defensive line is all over the place there when Malcolm takes receipt of that. Intelligent play, though, putting it back into an area. And Mitrovic is just alive, isn't he, to pull out. He's quicker than any opponent. Repositions himself and then just thumps that into the roof of the net. It's another real clinical finish from him, having not been in the game, on a hat-trick all of a sudden.
It's a heavy touch. It could be a gift of a goal. It is. Nightmare moment for Bento, and it's all going wrong for Luis Castro and Al Nassr.
Centre-half split. It's just a heavy touch off the right foot, and then he's scrambling to recover. He's a little bit rash the way he goes in. Malcolm evades it. I thought for a moment he was going to step aside and allow Mitrovic to get his third, but Malcolm desperate to get himself on the score sheet and does so. A gift.
Some return for Malcolm. And they've made it count in some style in the second half to get the job done. The outcome no longer in doubt really well before the conclusion, owing much to a couple of quick goals from Mitrovic after a brilliant equaliser from Milinkovic-Savic. The last one was gifted somewhat to Malcolm, and Al Hilal hold on to the Super Cup. Winners in the final by 4-1 for the second season in succession. They lift it for a record-extending 5th occasion. Al Nassr 1, Al Hilal 4 is the way it's finished. The presentation now, it's what they've been waiting around for, it's what they've become accustomed to seeing really of late, the Al Hilal supporters, whatever the competition, certainly domestically. Their side have been the dominant force. They really have put on a show in ABBA tonight, and indeed over the course of the last few days, with those two closely contested semi-finals as well. Now Hilal about to lift the prize. Referees, I think, will be up first, the officiating team from Portugal tonight. Had a good game, didn't he? Marta Suarez-Diaz in charge.
Just took the sting out of some situations, a few flash points. The referee gets the right feeling, and I think the officials did a really good job tonight.
Always going to be an edge when these two rivals get together. It was certainly the case throughout the contest. So they receive their medals for the part that they've played. There's such a sense of occasion in circumstances like this. Decision made this year to bring this competition back to its traditional home, really, as the curtain raiser to the new campaign. It's the first time in 6 years that it has been the case. It has set up Al Hilal with the opportunity to make a super start to the defence of their trophies, one of them secured already. Before they get their medals, before they get the trophy, the applause for the runners-up. Once again, Luis Castro and his side have to settle for second in a two-team contest with Al Hilal. It was the case in the title race. It was a race, really, that Al Hilal were well clear of long before its conclusion. It was the case in a much more closely contested cup final in the final game of last season. Although they struck first today, they briefly raised hopes just before half-time. They didn't get as close as it turned out this time around. Frustration that they will use to fuel what will come in the campaign ahead, but it's a familiar feeling, I guess, the disappointment that they're having to digest right now.
Yeah, I suppose it's that motivation they're going to have to take from this to be better, I think, and to match their other rivals that are going to, along with Al Hilal, come back strong, start of the season. They're going to want to make it more thrilling, tighter race. I'm sure those sides and just won't want to feel this again. So they've got to use this as motivation. All smiles now, and raw feeling that comes at the final whistle, maybe starting to subside, and you can switch your thoughts towards the start of the campaign and how they're going to go about achieving their goals. Got enough good players, haven't they, to be closer to Al Hilal. That absolutely wasn't evident today in that second half. Maybe a few additions to come, and maybe that will freshen up the appetite as well.
Ronaldo got his customary goal at the end of the first half, ultimately not enough. Sadio Mane maybe didn't quite have as significant a say today as he would have been hoping for. There has been a little bit of speculation about his future, a season into his career at the club. Played his part in the semi-final success in setting up one of the goals that got them here, that earned their shot at their great rivals again. Another shot at their great rivals. Once more they have just fallen short. They coming off second best against Koulibaly in the battle of the Senegalese, as has tended to be the case during their respective spells in Saudi Arabia so far. So the runners-up medals handed out. And now the party can get started very shortly for Al Hilal. They've waited patiently, haven't they, since the full-time whistle went. So the presentation party is assembled on the podium, and Jorge Jesus will lead his side up yet again. He's getting used to this. Yet another trophy, yet another medal for the collection for Jesus. The age of 70 now, a serial winner. 24 competitions won across 3 continents. 3 Saudi Super Cups to his collection now. No sign of a let-up in his team's domestic dominance. That will be maybe even more important. The significance of this success, as much of the medals that they're receiving around their necks. Mitrovic with 2 goals in quick succession, taking this final away from Al Nassr. Once again, he was in the right place, wasn't he, to do what he does.
He was quiet in the first half, that's for sure. I think when he faces games of that nature, he sometimes comes really deep and starts looking to get involved in the build-up play. So pivotal he is, working as a focal point. He's always the first kind of outlet for a side to try and hit, but today stayed in the box. As an opposition, you've got to try and keep him out of there. It sounds simplistic, but as soon as you allow him to get the run on you, he's so aggressive, with intelligence as well, his movement to position himself where he's going to get chances. Very Mitrovic goals, it felt tonight, a far post header and a finish from, 6 or 7 yards out, where he was just the quickest to react in the 18-yard box. So yeah, I mean, there's no one comparable, is there? I don't think in the league who's going to give you that consistency and that regularity of performances. So it's something that the others are going to have to get on with, really, to find those goals probably from various sources rather than that one player who is just so consistent. But yeah, he has, like Ronaldo, just an incredible desire to find the back of the net.
Both starting as they mean to go on at the opening of a new campaign. But it's Mitrovic's moment tonight with the 2 goals that turn this around. So that brilliant equaliser from Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, in which Mitrovic played his part as well. Came just over 10 minutes into the second half, that Milinkovic-Savic equaliser. It changed everything, really, didn't it, as it turned out?
It did. It was a moment of rare quality at that stage. Brilliant goal from him. As I said during the commentary during the game, every touch almost had to be perfect. He had 5 or 6 touches maybe, Milinkovic-Savic, but the way he had to maraud through challenges, and then the finish itself, when the goalkeeper's spreading himself to lift it, showed great intelligence as well. So it's a brilliant goal.
So the medals are around the necks, and the captain now is about to lift the trophy, Salem Al Dawsari, the skipper, with more success to celebrate. The 5th Super Cup win this for Al Hilal. He's been involved as Al Dawsari in all but the first of them. And he'll take his place, I think, in the middle of his teammates on that stage very shortly before lifting that trophy aloft. No sign soon of them losing this winning feeling on the evidence of what we've seen tonight. Salem Al-Dawsari makes his way to his teammates to start the celebrations, because once again Al Hilal have won the Saudi Super Cup.